right, we have Isabel here from Lab Hoops. So Isabel, how are you?
I'm good.
So first of all, what class are you in and what school do you go to?
I go to Borchers and what was the other question?
And what class are you in?
Monday?
What class are you in?
I'm in 4th.
Okay, nice. Going to 5th, okay. And Isabel, you play, what position do you play?
I play point guard.
Okay, so when you're bringing the ball up court, how are you reading the defense?
Like where they're dribbling,
Yeah.
wherever they go, I pass it to the one who's open.
Okay. And what are your strengths, Isabel?
Just playing basketball, and I like to do track too.
Okay. And how was your team? Describe their bond with your teammates.
They're good. They're strong. And that's it.
Okay, so do you have any more games to play today? Any more games?
Yes, I have 2 more.
So what does your team need to do in order to win those games, Isabel?
Play defense and play good.
Okay, and what about like in the going forward? Like, what are you going to take away from this tournament? What are you guys looking to improve on as a team?
Just doing good in basketball and improving in practice.
Okay, thank you very much, Isabel. All right, we have Brooke from Lab Hoops. So Brooke, how are you?
I'm good.
So what position do you play, Brooke, and what school do you go to?
I'm a shooting guard, and I go to San Isidro Elementary.
Okay, and what grade are you in?
I'm going to 5th.
Okay, and what about you as a player? What are your strengths?
Like shooting and good dribbling skills.
Okay, and you guys have a couple games to play today. So what does your team need to do today in order to win those games?
We need to win, play hard, and try our best.
Okay, and what about the bond that you have with your teammates?
What?
What about like the connection that you have with your teammates?
Well, we're really good connection. Like we do have really good plays in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And also like.
Yeah. And what are you trying to improve on as a team?
I want to like win a lot and go to nationals.
Okay, thank you very much, Brooke. All right, we have Mathew here from the SA Spurs. So Mathew, how are you?
Good.
So first of all, tell us what class are you in and what school do you go to?
I go to Hoffman Elementary. I'm going to Miss Clear's class.
Okay. And also, what are your strengths as a player?
Probably passing and looking up the court.
Okay. And describe your team to us. How do you guys play?
So when we pass it, we cut and then hit. So it's like a easy drop for a layup.
Okay. And you guys have some games coming up. So what does your team need to do in order to win those games?
Make the layups. Do what Coach tells us to do.
Okay. And describe the connection that you have with your teammates.
I say we have a good connection. I don't really know what to say.
Okay. And what about the practices? How are the practices with your team?
Good. We run our plays and everything to make new plays and stuff.
All right. Thank you very much, Mathew. All right. We have Trgstan here from the SA Spurs. So Trgstan, how are you?
Good.
So what class are you in and or grade, and what school do you go to?
I'm in 5th grade and I go to Beacon Hill Academy.
Okay. So Trgstan, what position do you play?
Center or shooting guard.
And what are your strengths as a player?
Passing, rebounding, defense, and shooting.
Okay, so talk about your shooting. You know, how you worked on your shooting and how you got to become such a good shooter.
I just practice a lot and yeah, I just practice.
Okay. And what about your team practices? How competitive are they?
They're pretty competitive. We talk trash a lot. Yeah, and we want to win really bad.
Yeah. And what about the bond that you have with your teammates, the closeness that you guys are?
Yeah, we're really good friends. We like to talk with each other and
Yeah. And what about your coach? Describe your coach.
He's a really good coach. He draws plays that work and makes us score.
Okay. And last question for you: what does your team need to do today in order to win?
Good ball movement, find the open man, and make our layups.
Well, thank you very much, Trgstan.
Thank you too.
All right, we have Dominyk from the SA Spurs. So Dominyk, how are you?
Good.
So first of all, tell us what class you're in and what school do you go to?
I'm the class of 2029, and I go to Beacon Hill Academy.
So you guys just won the last game, your first game that you played of the day. So what did your team do well in that game?
We just ball movement and just find open shots.
Okay. And what did you do well individually, Dominyk?
I created open shots for my teammates, and I got my teammates the ball.
Okay. And what are your strengths as a player?
I can dribble, I can pass, and I can shoot.
Okay. And describe the practices to us.
The practices, they're really competitive, and we just like try to have fun and also work on our fundamentals.
Yeah. And what about the bond that you have with your teammates?
It's a really strong bond. It's like we're brothers, so we just try to work on stuff.
Yeah. And last question for you: what does your team need to do this remaining 2 games today in order to get the win?
Just play our game and just move the ball and just find open shots.
Okay. And what position do you play?
Point guard.
Point guard. So when you're bringing the ball up court, how are you reading the defense?
I'm just reading whatever they give me, and I try to take advantage of that.
And how do you differentiate when to like be aggressive or when to find your teammates and pass them the ball?
I just I read the defense and see what they give me.
Okay, thank you very much, Dominyk. Best of luck. All right, we have Jordan here from the SA Spurs. So Jordan, how are you?
Good.
So what grade are you in and what school do you go to?
I'm in 4th grade and I go to Meadow Village Elementary.
You guys just won your first game. What did you guys do well as a team?
We move the ball and cut a lot as a team.
Okay, and what are your strengths as a player, Jordan?
Dribble and shoot.
Okay, and what does your team need to do in order to win the next couple of games?
We need to do a lot of cutting and getting open on the shot for the shots.
And what position do you play?
Point guard.
Well, thank you very much, Jordan. Best of luck. All right, we have Emily here from Unite. So Emily, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. So you guys just played a game. So how did your team do, collectively, and how did you play individually?
I thought I did good. I thought we did really good on defense and offense. Overall, we did good.
Yeah. And what did you do well, like as individually?
Probably passing, looking up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what class are you in, and what school do you go to?
Like, what do you mean in class?
Like what grade are you in?
I'm in 7th.
7th. And
Yeah.
what school?
Garcia Middle School.
Okay, nice. So what are your strengths as a player?
Shooting, passing, dribbling. Yeah.
Okay. And what about your team? Like, describe the bond that you have with your teammates.
Really funny, like energetic. They're really energetic, and we're really focused a lot. And
okay. And then for your remaining games today, Emily, what do you need to do as a team in order to get the win?
I mean, we got to stay focused and and we just got to make good passes and looking up, and that's all. Yeah.
And what position do you play?
I play point guard.
So how do you play the point guard position? When you bring the ball up, how are you reading the defense?
Really standing up and like making them like go some way, like the other way, and trying to get to the basket.
Okay, thank you very much, Emily. Best of luck. All right, we have Keva here from SA Unite. So Keva, how are you?
Good.
So you guys just won the last game. So what did your team do well?
I feel like we did a lot better on defense and kind of rebounding.
Yeah. So your team focuses on defense, and when not a lot of teams do that. So how do you guys play defense? What is your main focus?
Our main focus is either 2-3 or just man.
Okay. And what grade are you in, Keva, and what school do you go to?
I am going into 7th, and I go to Legacy Christian Academy.
Okay. And what are your strengths as a player?
My strengths as a player are rebounding and helping other people know where to go, and maybe defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what position do you play?
I play shooting guard.
Okay, so when you're at the shooting guard position, how are you reading the floor,
I just try to see where they're looking and where my teammates are looking, and I read from my teammates and the other team's expressions.
Okay, and what about the practices? How competitive are they?
They're pretty competitive. Our coach goes really hard on us, pushes us to our limit. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And what does your team need to do these next couple of games in order to win?
Excuse me?
What does your team need to do these next couple of games in order to win?
I feel like we should talk more and maybe just focus on the game a little bit more.
Well, thank you very much, Keva. Best of luck going forward. All right, we have Sylase Ramirez here from DC Kings. So Sylase, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, thanks for asking. So you guys just played a game. So how do you think you guys did as a team collectively, and how did you play individually, Sylase?
The first half we got off to a rough start, didn't really play a good team defense, but the second half we played really good defense. The team just plays good together. I did pretty good defense. I think I had an overall pretty good game.
Okay, so let's talk about you as a player. What are your strengths?
Probably driving, finishing, and shooting.
Okay, and what grade are you in, and what school do you go to, Sylase?
I'm in 6th grade. I go to Alamo Heights.
Okay, nice. So, Sylase, what about your team? Describe the bond that you have with your teammates.
We have a really strong connection. Every game, we're just working hard together, playing good, even at practice.
Yeah. And tell us about those practices. How competitive are they? How much do you guys go after one another in practice?
Mostly we're just doing drills that we can compute in game. We could translate to the game. And when we do the scrimmages, we are pretty competitive about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And last question for you, Sylase. You guys have a couple more games left to play for the rest of the day. So what does your team need to do in order to win those games?
We just need to play good, box out, get rebounds, play good man defense, make some knock down our important shots, and I think we're going to win.
And what position do you play?
Small forward.
Small forward. Okay, thank you very much, Sylase. Best of luck. All right, we have Elijah here from the DC Kings. So, Elijah, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, thanks for asking. So, what grade are you in, and what school do you go to?
I'm in 6th grade, and I go to St. Luke Catholic School.
Okay, and what position do you play, Elijah?
Small forward.
Small forward, okay. And what are your strengths as a player?
I like to drive and I shoot.
Okay. And how do you know, like, when to drive, attack the basket, and then when to pull up for jumpers?
When it's 1v1, you try to pull up, and if there's nobody there, you just drive, take the layup.
Yeah. And then what about the last game? You know, describe how you played individually and how did your team play collectively?
I played okay. My team did really good. We're a very strong team.
Okay, and describe your team to those who have not seen you guys play. Do you guys like to shoot threes, play defense? What is the identity of your team?
A lot of us like to drive. Some like to shoot threes.
Okay, and what does your team need to do in order to win the next couple of games?
We need to box out the bigs, take good shots, make our free throws and layups.
Okay, thank you very much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, we have Noah here from DC Kings. So Noah, how are you?
Good.
So what grade are you in, and what school do you go to?
6, I go to St. Luke's.
Okay, and what position do you play?
Point guard and shooting guard.
Okay, and talk about your team. You know, describe your team to those who have not seen you guys play.
You know, they're good. They're
Okay,
good.
awesome. And what about your bond that you have with your teammates?
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah. And how is it like playing with your brother on the team?
It's good.
Is it pretty competitive, you two go at it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what about your last game? How did you play individually, and how did your team play collectively?
Our team played really good. I didn't do that good that game, but our team did.
There's another game, right? So what about your strengths as a player?
I would say I'm good at defense and good at driving.
Okay, and a lot of kids your age don't even think about the defensive end of the floor. It's all about offense. It's all about points. Describe your mindset when you're playing defense.
I just try to get the ball and play good defense.
Yeah, simple as that, right? Okay, and what does your team need to do going forward in order to win these next couple of games?
Play good defense, play good offense. We need a space and just play good, make our shots.
Simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we had Drake here from the DC Kings. So, Drake, how are you?
Good.
So, what school do you go to, and what grade are you in?
Alamo Heights, and I'm going into 7th grade.
You're going to 7th grade. Okay, and describe your game to those who have not seen you play. What are your strengths?
Rebounding, defense, and inside shots.
Okay, so you like to play inside. So, talk about like using your size, using your height in order to dominate the defense.
I like to play in the high post and look for my guards that are cutting.
Yeah, for sure. And what about your team? Describe your team, your teammates.
We're very good at pushing the ball fast and getting good layups and getting open shots.
Okay, so Drake, you guys just played a game. So how did you play individually, and how did your team play collectively, Drake?
In the first half, we were a little sloppy. I missed more shots than I wanted to, but I got a lot of rebounds, and we cleaned it up at the end.
Yeah. Were you guys able to get the win?
Yes.
Wait, that's all that matters, right? Yeah. Okay, and what about the practices? How tough and hard are the practices to competitive?
They're pretty tough and hard. If we mess up or not doing something right, you usually have to run.
Yeah. And what about the bond that you have with your teammates?
It's very good. We're always joking around and having fun on the sidelines.
Last question for you, Drake. What does your team need to do these next couple of games in order to win?
Come into the game like we're gonna play and play good defense.
Well, thank you very much, Drake. Best of luck going forward. All right, we have Kassy here from United South. So, Kassy, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. So, first of all, tell us what grade you're in and what school do you go to?
I'm in 7th and I'm going to United South.
Okay, and let's talk about you as a player. What are your strengths?
My what?
What are your strengths as a player?
I make moves and I drive in.
Okay, and what position do you play, Kassy?
Point guard.
Point guard, okay. So when you're bringing the ball down the floor, how do you read the defense?
If there's one guarding me, I can drive in easily. And if there's two, I can drive in and pass the ball.
Okay, so Kassy, you guys just played a couple of games, I believe. So how did your team play collectively, and how did you play individually, Kassy?
We played good. We made a lot of buckets, and yeah, we won.
And what about you individually?
I did good.
Okay, good. What about going forward, these next couple of games? What does your team need to do in order to win those games?
We need to play more good defense, hustle more.
Okay. And what about like your bond that you have with your teammates?
My what?
The connection that you have with your teammates?
They're really good friends. I like them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you very much, Kassy. All right, we have Larissa here from United South. So, Larissa, how are you?
Good.
So you guys just played. So how did you play individually, and how did your team play collectively, Larissa?
Well, I think I did pretty good. My team was the one that mostly helps all of us out.
Yeah. What did your team specifically do well in that last game?
Well, we did a lot of stealing the ball, and then we drove in and shot.
Yeah. And you guys play a lot of hard defense, right? So describe that mindset. When you guys are playing defense, what are you guys thinking?
Well, just ready to get the ball and go shoot.
For sure, all right. So what school do you go to, Kassy, or Larissa, sorry, and what grade are you in?
I'm going to 7th grade, and I'm in United South Middle.
Okay, awesome. What are your strengths as a player?
My what?
What are your strengths? What are you good at as a player?
My best position is defense.
Defense, okay. Awesome. And what does your team need to do these next couple of games in order to win?
Well, we had to make sure that they weren't getting into the court because they were all just going in and shooting.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Larissa. Best of luck going forward. All right, we have Izari from United South. So, Izari, how are you?
Good, I've been good.
Good. So, you guys just played a game. So, how did you play individually?
I played really good.
Yeah. What specifically did you do well on?
I would say
Like defense, shooting, driving.
defense.
Okay. And describe your team to us, like, so for those who have not seen you guys play.
We have a really good connection. We could move the ball very well, and we just like to have fun while we're playing.
For sure. And what about the bond that you have with your teammates and your coach?
It's a really good bond. It's fun to be with them.
Yeah, you guys have such a great team chemistry for sure. And what did your team do well? Let's talk about you guys as a team last game in order to get the win.
We just talked. We're like good defense. We try not to foul because we had a lot of fouls, but we did.
Yeah. So what about that communication on the court? How do you guys get that such a strong communication?
Well, we just talk to each other and we just tell one of each other like what to do, and we listen.
Yeah. Okay. And you guys have a couple more games to play. So what does your team need to do in order to win those games?
Stay strong.
Yeah, simple as that. Thank you very much. All right, we have Janelle here from United South. So Janelle, how are you?
Good.
Good. So first of all, what class or what grade are you in, and what school do you go to?
I'm in 7th grade and I'm from United South Middle.
Okay, and what are your strengths as a player?
Well, I really have good defense.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. So what is your mindset when you're playing defense?
Well, just go for the ball and always try your hardest.
Yeah. Okay, and what about your team? Describe your connection as a team.
Well, they're really good friends and I can trust them.
Okay. And what did you do well in the last game individually, and what did your team do well collectively?
Well, my team, we moved the ball a lot, and myself, well, getting rebounds.
And talk about getting rebounds. What is your mindset when you're trying to get rebounds?
Just box out the girl.
Yeah. And what does your team need to do these next couple of games in order to get the win?
What do you mean?
Like, what do you guys need to do? Play defense? What do you guys need to do in order to win?
Well, we got to move the ball around and play defense and get boards.
Okay, and what about, like, going forward? What is your main takeaways from this tournament?
Well,
what did you learn about yourself and your team?
well, I don't know. I can really trust them, but
Okay.
like, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Janelle. All right, we have Jayden here from Texas Assassins General. So, Jayden, how are you?
Good.
Good. So you guys just came fresh off a victory. So what did your team do well collectively, Jayden, and what did you do well individually?
My team, they moved the ball around, and I scored a lot.
Okay. Let's talk about you as a player. What are your strengths?
Passing, playmaking, and sometimes finishing.
Okay. And how do you know when to be aggressive and then when to give the ball to your teammates?
I just look to around the court, court vision and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, Jayden. What class are you in? What grade are you in, and what school do you go to?
I'm class 2030.
Okay.
And I am in third grade, and I go to Mission West Elementary.
Oh, nice. Okay. And talk about your team. What do you guys do well as a team?
We talk, we pass, good. We communicate.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. And do you guys have any more games left today, Jayden, or are you guys done?
Yeah, we have 2 more games.
You got 2 more games. Okay. What does your team need to do in order to win those games?
Move the ball around and communicate.
Okay. And what about the bond that you have with your teammates, Jayden?
All of my teammates, they're all my friends, and they're my family.
Well, it shows on the court. Best of luck to you and Texas Assassin General. All right, we have Desmond Douglas here from Texas Assassin General. So, Devin, how are you?
I'm good.
So, first of all, you guys just played a game. So, how did you play individually, and how did your team play collectively, Desmond?
How I played individually, I had some assists. I was setting my teammates up to get the buckets and score.
Yeah.
Collectively, whole team was moving the ball around, passing and cutting, making good passes, taking good shots and layups. Yeah.
So talk about that ball movement. You guys love to share the wealth around and share the ball around. Talk about that unselfish attitude that your team has, Desmond.
Well, we never show selfishness. We never hog the ball. So if we see somebody open, we're gonna pass it.
Yeah. And what about the bond that you have with your teammates and the bond that you have with your coach?
We've been together for a long time. We know each other a lot. We've been playing the games together for about 2 years now.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it really shows for sure. So what about you individually? What are your strengths?
My strengths are shooting, ball handling, layupping, playmaking.
Okay.
Playmaker.
And what grade are you in, and what school do you go to?
I'm in 4th grade, but now I'm going to 5th. And I'm going to Leonard Elementary.
Okay, and you guys have 2 more games left to play today. So what does your team need to do in order to win those games?
Just keep moving the ball and keep playing good basketball.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Desmond. Best of luck going forward. All right, we have Chase Swan here from Nova, fresh off a very exciting comeback victory. So, Chase, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. So let's get to know a little bit more about yourself. What class are you in, and what school do you go to, Chase?
2023. I go to school in Dallas, Eastern Hills. In
Okay.
Dallas. Yeah.
So, Chase, you guys had such an exciting game, a comeback. You guys were all playing really well. You were the catalyst for that. So kind of explain your guys' mindset when you guys were down in that game.
When we were down, I just tried to help the team out because we were all down. And And I just said that we come back. We come back for sure.
Yeah. And talk about, you had a little bit of, injury struggles, in the first half. So talk about fighting through that a little bit.
I hurt my ankle, and then somebody hit my head. It hurt, but you just got to fight through it to win. I just wanted to win.
Yeah. And how do you think your team played collectively, Chase?
First half we played horrible, but second half we picked it up and played a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm very happy.
You get the win, right? That's all that matters.
All that matters.
So Chase, talk about you as a player. What are your strengths?
Strengths, I could drive very good, got good handles, and I'm an all-around player.
Yeah, right. And Chase, talk about all the work that you put in, all the long hours on the weekends, the early mornings, the late nights, all the work that you put in coming to this point.
This summer was tough. Been working all summer. So I'm just glad that it's finally showing.
Yeah.
It's finally showing.
Right. And then also, Chase, what about the practices? How competitive are these Nova practices? They seem like you guys go at one another.
Yeah, all the time. Every day we go up and down at each other's necks.
Yeah. And what about the bond that you have with your teammates, Chase?
Oh, I love these guys. These guys is fun. They're fun to play with.
And talk about the unselfishness that you guys have as a team. You guys move the ball around. You guys are cheering for one another when someone makes a big play, no matter if you're on the floor or on the bench.
Yeah, we just try to cheer each other on because we know that's going to help big in a long-time run.
Yeah. And Nova has a couple more games left to play today, so what do you guys need to do, Chase, in order to win those games?
Just pick up the momentum, cheer for each other, and make big shots.
And what are your future goals, Chase, both in life and in basketball?
The goal right now is to go D1 college.
Well, best of luck, Chase, and best of luck, Nova. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, we have Mathew here from Nova. So, Mathew, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing good. Thanks for asking. So, first of all, tell us what class you're in and what school do you go to, Mathew?
I'm class of 2023, and I go to St. Gerard's Catholic High School.
Okay, so you guys came off such an exciting game. You guys were down much of the first half, but then made a furious comeback and ended up winning the game. So talk about that game and how you played individually and how you played as a team collectively.
Well, I like to start off because my team did a great job coming back. We stuck together through adversity, and I think I played semi-good. I could have contributed more, hit my free throws, but altogether I think we did great things on the court and as a team.
Right. So you're the point guard. So talk about setting everybody else up, and then also, looking for your own shot, because you can really shoot the ball and drive, Mathew.
It's very important as a point guard. You got to set the offense up. You got to know when to push the pace, who's open, and where they open at. And I like to just take my own shots, really get in the lane and get contact. So that's basically all my game is.
Yeah. And then talk about that never give up attitude that you guys had. Because you guys kind of easily sulked, mailed it in, when you guys were down. So talk about that fight that you guys have as a team.
Our fight just comes from our coach. He tells us not to give up, dive on the ground, give us energy. So it's all our coach telling us what to do, what not to do, and helping us get that dub.
Yeah, for sure. What about the bond that you have with your teammates, Mathew?
It's like no other, man. We love each other. Sometimes we don't like each other, but once you step on our court, that all goes away, and we get together and we get that win.
Yeah, for sure. And what are your future goals, Mathew, both in life and in basketball?
Just go to college for free. Basketball, academically, just go anywhere I can to help my parents, and that's all.
Right. And what about you guys have a couple more games left to play today, Mathew. So what does your team need to do in order to win those games?
Play together, play great defense. It all starts under defensive end defense. Hit our free throws, hit open shots, get the layups in, drive the lane, kick out.
Yeah. And then, Mathew, in the first half, I really noticed that your offense was struggling, but your defense kept you kind of within striking distance of that team. So talk about you guys playing defense even though when your offense is struggling.
Well, our coach tells us to take pride on defense, and that's what we did. All those defensive slides at practice really paid off. So that's all.
They did for sure. Well, best of luck, Mathew, and best of luck, Nova. Thank you. All right, we have Jeremiah Torres here from Nova. So, Jeremiah, how are you?
Good. Doing good.
Good. So let's talk about you as a player first, What are your strengths?
I feel like my strengths are shooting. I can also get some boards for my team, and also I can bring it down the court.
Yeah. So you talk about that. You're bringing it down the court. You're not afraid to shoot the shot. You have confidence in your shot. Explain that a little.
Well, mostly just consistency and practicing. To make these shots, you have to practice them, and just even through misses, you got to be able to keep on shooting your same shot.
No, for sure. And what are some players that you like to look up to? You can be in the NBA, college, anybody.
Well, one of my favorite players to watch is Kevin Durant, and a lot of Klay Thompson. Just keeping their form straight and staying aggressive the whole game.
Yeah, no, for sure. And what class are you in, and what school do you go to?
Class of 2023, Thomas Jefferson High School.
Okay, and let's talk about the game a little bit. You guys made such a great comeback, ended up getting the victory. What did you do well individually, Jeremiah, and what did your team do well collectively?
Well, I know personally I hit a couple big shots for my team, and my team was also missing free throws, so I had to keep egging them on and keep reminding them to stay confident and stay aggressive, and we came through with the victory together.
Yeah, no, for sure. And talk about that unselfish brand of basketball that you guys play, the ball movement, the cheering on your teammates, whether you're on the floor or on the bench.
Yes, sir. That has to do a lot with our coaches and making sure we're staying active in the game even when we're not on the court.
No, for sure. And what are your future goals, Jeremiah?
Future goals to be in college and hopefully make it to the league.
Hey, for sure. And last question for you. You guys got a couple more games left to play today. What does your team need to do in order to win those games?
Just stay together, make sure we stay just as aggressive as we were, and stay aggressive throughout the whole game. At the start of the last game, we came out a little flat, so just be able to stay aggressive the whole game.
Yeah. And what about that bond that you have with your teammates?
It's close. We'll through practices and everything, we keep each other competitive, and we stay tight.
And that never give up attitude. You guys could have easily mailed it in and be like, okay, we have 2 more games left to play today. Talk about that focus and that never give up attitude and wanting to come back at this last game.
It's just the fire that we have in us, and we're a fighting team. We have to stay aggressive.
Hey, that's for sure. Best of luck, Jeremiah, and best of luck to Nova.
Thank you.
All right, we have Steven here from Nova. So, Steven, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. So talk about how crazy that game was. You guys were down, looked like dead in the water, but did you guys make a furious comeback and end up getting the victory?
Yes, sir. It was intense. It was intense. It was scary as well because, you know, we normally play morning games and they kind of affect us because, you know, we gotta get up early. We gotta get in the routine of playing early games, but it was intense. It was intense. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how did you think you played individually that last game, Steven?
I think I played well. I shared the ball as much as I normally. I don't really share the ball because I can do it all. But you know, I shared the ball. I trusted my teammates, let them get open shots, create some open shots for them, and came out with the victory.
Right. And let's talk about you more as a player. So what class are you in, and what school do you go to?
I go to St. Gerard's Catholic High School at class of 2023.
Okay. And what are your strengths, Steven?
My strengths are probably my shooting ability and my IQ.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. And what about the bond that you have with your teammates, the closeness of this group?
Our bond is pretty tight. We normally, we're like brothers to each other. We've been hooping since we're 5 years old. You know, we've added some new guys, some guys left, but it's more of a brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
No, for sure. And what about your future goals, in both in life and in basketball?
My future goals, I plan on going to college, getting a good education, getting a good job, and just be a successful man.
No, for sure. And what players do you look up to, Steven? It can be in the NBA, college, international, anybody.
One of my main players would be Kyrie Irving. Okay. I love his IQ. I love his ball handling, the way he can create space, get open shots. I love him.
Yeah, no, that's a great comparison. And Steven, for those of you that have not seen Nova play, describe your team. Do you guys like to shoot a lot of threes, play defense? What is the identity of this Nova team?
Identity will probably be whatever the defense gives us. We can read the defender, you know, the way he's playing us, the way he closes out on us, attack the basket. Yeah. If he's sagging back, shoot the shot. We can just read the players.
Yeah. And how competitive are practices?
Pretty competitive. we get a lot of hatred in there because of how competitive they get. A lot of back talk, you know, mess talk to each other, but it's pretty competitive at practice.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you guys have 2 more games left to play for the evening. So what does Nova need to do in order to get the win, Steven?
Come out stronger than the first game. Have a lot of energy and just play together, play basketball.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Steven, and best of luck to Nova. All right, we had Coach Leung here from Nova. He's both the program director and the head coach. So, Coach, how are you?
I'm great, sir. I'm glad to be here. How are you doing today?
Good, thanks for asking. So let's talk about that game. What a crazy game. You guys make a furious comeback, end up getting the victory. So talk about that game a little bit and what you saw from a coach's perspective.
From a coach's perspective, I mean, we played great defense and we came back. I mean, it all starts with the young men, their mindset. If they didn't buy in together, we wouldn't have done that. So I was very proud of them, able for them to make that comeback, and they kind of defense stuck. That's what stuck in the thick and thin. Like I said, if they didn't buy in on that side of the ball, we wouldn't have done it. So I'm very proud of them. Our job's not over. But it was a good first game, and I'll take the W. Yes, sir.
Exactly. Get the W any way you can get it. No, for
Not
sure.
the best way, but yeah.
A W is a W, right. What really impressed me, Coach, was the poise. Kids, these ages now, they get down, they kind of get down on themselves a little bit and kind of mail it in. But your kids stuck to it. Your kids continue to fight. Talk about the fight that your kids have.
I mean, I don't want to sound like cliche. I guess maybe that's the right word. Our boys, just like a lot of teams in the AAU circuit, are very overlooked. They put in the work.
Yeah.
And that gets overlooked. I mean, the stats about making it to the league or college are crazy, but we are just priding ourselves as one of those teams that we come out there every week, put in the work in the gym, at practice. That poise is because these boys spend hours in the gym. They love basketball. They're there from 6 to 6, and it's like I said, I can only give them the credit.
Yeah, when I interviewed all the players, they were talking about that, how competitive the practice are, how much they love basketball. So that's certainly true, Coach. Oh, yes, and then let's talk about the Nova program. Describe the program for us a little bit.
Yeah, so the Nova program, we're a nonprofit. We go ahead and we're like I said, I'm the program director. I take very pride on it. Like I said, these guys, I mean, you wouldn't know what schools they go to. If I were to tell you, I'd be like, where's that school at? Yeah. Program club, we tend to do, as far as high school, we do showcases so that boys can be looked at. Right now, like I said, this is a nonprofit, so these guys, I mean, I don't want to make it sound rude, but nobody knows them. Nobody knows them, and that's why they're here. Yeah. Just like, I'm not going to discredit anybody in this gym. All these young men are here to get better and to be looked at. Yeah. So if anything, like I said, I take pride that we're a nonprofit. All we can do is open up a gym for these guys, give them an outlet, and hopefully, their talents and hard work and good grades can do the rest, the talking for them.
Man, that's great to hear. You guys are doing things the right way. It's more than just basketball. I love you guys' message and what you guys stand for sure, Coach. So for those people who have not seen your team play, describe your identity. Describe your team in a couple words, Coach.
I mean, defensively, we're defensive team, and we have no doubt in our mind that we deserve to be here. Yeah. So I mean, it's not pride. I mean, it's just we are certain, like you said, poise. Yeah. We can compete. I don't want to jinx us, but we want to compete. We want to compete, and we can compete every game. And I think that's what describes our team. We may be the overlooked, though we just overplay, I guess. I don't know. We play to win.
Right, you guys play with a lot of heart for sure. And I think it was really important, Coach, that you said defense. Because very well, kids this age, it's all about offense. It's all about the glitz and the glamour, the points. How do you get your team to buy in, especially kids these age, on the defensive end on the floor?
Don't give them the ball at practice. No, I'm just kidding. No, don't give them the ball at. No, I mean, a lot of practice work. I mean, I can't be more grateful for the assistant coaches that I have and had. I mean, ever since these guys were little, some that have been with us for a while. It's always about defense and the proper scheming. I always feel that you have to have a certain feel for the game, and if they communicate, we pride ourselves on communicating. So we try to get every guy that comes in the door. If there's no talking going on, I mean, it's going to be hard to play with us. Yeah. So the communication is key, and I mean, that's defense is everything. No zone, man-to-man. I mean, if anything I could tell whoever's watching, man-to-man will get you to that college atmosphere. Yeah. And communicating. Guys like guys with enthusiasm. You guys are watching the game. We're cheering for each other on the bench, high-fiving, we're getting loud. I mean, that enthusiasm is what makes other people's level of play get better.
Yeah, all the intangibles, like you rightly said, Coach. Even the players that are on the bench, they were cheering for the players that are on the floor. They were happy for them, genuinely happy, and it showed. And they also talked about you. What a great influence you are, and what a great coach. So They
better not have told you too much about me. No, I'm just kidding.
Just a couple more. Just a couple more questions for you, Coach. So we're closing in on the summer circuit as kids are getting ready to go back to school. Yes, but it's basketball is year round, as you know. Right, so describe the summer circuit. What does your team team learn? How do you think your team has played overall this summer? Let's recap that a little bit.
So we believe in one thing here. I mean, we will always have workouts throughout the year. I feel that when it's school time, the boys need to fly on their own. They need to put in the work at their school. And I mean, I'm grateful for the coaches that have allowed me to coach their students, because a lot of stuff that they don't get in the schools, they'll get here. Yeah. I always tell them your responsibility in your school team is different than ours. I pride that on us very much, is that your role, it's not just a role. Everybody on our team is always looked at as a leader. Yeah. Even the 12th guy, even the guy you saw once injured, he's out there, you know, calling out plays. He's doing the best that he can, and that's one thing I want them to go back to school, is that they want to be leaders, whether it's have a voice in the class or in the gym.
Right. And last question for you, Coach. I know you have a couple more games to play today. Very important games. So what does your team need to do? What are the keys for your team in order to win these next couple of games?
I mean, we need to execute. I mean, I always remember Coach Pop tries to keep it simple, but we just need to come out and play, be smart, take care of the ball, and trust each other. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, they're a great program. We're getting to know the Nova, based out of San Antonio, Texas. Go check them out. Coach, best of luck going forward, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, we have Zane here from Cy-Fair. So, Zane, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, so you guys just finished the game. So how did your team play collectively, and how did you play individually, Zane?
I think we did pretty good. We ended up losing, but we still played a good game. I was up and down, scored a 3, did some layups, got some fast breaks. We did pretty good.
Okay.
We could have done better, but we lost.
Yeah. And Zane, let's talk about you as a player. What are your strengths?
I think I could do everything. I could drive, shoot. I could be in the post, anything.
Yeah. And what about all the work that you put in, all the late nights, early mornings, all the late hours in the gym?
Yeah, I be in the park. There's a park right next to my house, so I go there whenever I want to play, whenever I'm bored. Instead of playing my game and my Xbox, I'll just be there.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? That's what you. And Zane, what class are you in, and what school do you go to?
I'm a new freshman. I'm going into freshman, and I go to Stevens High School.
Okay, and describe your team for those who have not seen Cy-Fair play. What is your style of play?
We're just an all-around great team. We can shoot. Just whatever. We can play whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And how competitive are the practices, Zane?
Really competitive. Yesterday we had a 3-hour practice. Most of us were tired. Yeah. Running with parachutes, foot drills, footwork, shooting drills, everything.
Okay, and what are your future goals in life and in basketball?
Ever since I started playing basketball around 4 years old, I've been wanting to go to the NBA.
Okay. And what are your do you guys have any future games? Any more games today?
Yes, today we have another game at 6.
Okay, so what does your team need to do in order to win that game?
Just share the ball, make sure we're running around great, go in the paint, just play good defense, get in their heads, and that's how we're gonna play.
Well, thank you very much, Zane. Best of luck.